think I woke up sometime between 9 in the morning and 11 in the morning. Oh. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to get that building into my city in Elvenar. I spent much of today on work regarding my styrofoam drawings. Primarily on creating some new styrofoam drawings, since that takes more time than simply the other activity I did regarding my styrofoam drawings, which was to bring styrofoam drawings I found within the basement out in the open and bring them up to my room to take a picture of, to add them to the collection, and from here on out to keep them in my room. I microwaved this for 2 minutes. Near the end, heard some kind of popping sounds, which made me think of the shrimp bursting open from the heat. Okay, I'll scout one province. At some point, I found what looked like to be an old styrofoam drawing within the basement, within some kind of small little storage bin. Near the Lego Town table. It appeared to be an old styrofoam drawing, and it was old, but it had no engraving because I never finished it. The back of the styrofoam, the inner back, was mostly blank. And so I put in some work to continue the pattern that had been established so long ago, maybe at least a year ago, within the front and sides of the styrofoam drawing. I continued that pattern of pretty much random colors, random Sharpie colors, onto the inner back of the styrofoam, taking care to Obviously, try not to have repeating colors too close to each other. I tried so hard I included some metallic Sharpie markers. The metallic sapphire, metallic bronze, and metallic silver onto it. Oh, that's something unique. These are leftovers from when Mom made this pasta dish using presumably a bit of my white truffle oil that I got from Rome, thawed out shrimp, boiled fettuccine pasta. I believe at the time when I asked her, she said she put in some garlic. Must not have put in that much, because if you eat plain garlic, it's pretty brutal. Kind of like what happens if you eat raw onion. She made this pasta dish not too long before she left for band practice today. She's home now, currently resting, sleeping. While Mom was away at band practice, I ended up falling asleep. On my bed for a handful of hours. I woke up shortly before Mom got back. Which is quite fortunate. It gave me an opportunity to protect my Duolingo streak to maintain it. Which these days I often do by practicing my listening and reading comprehension through one of Duolingo's stories for the Spanish learning course for native English speakers, such as myself. I currently happen to have 1220 ancient knowledge packs due to the event. Gain 15 marble relics. Don't I already have the maximum amount I can have for those? The maximum doesn't appear until I get to the ascended goods, which doesn't come for a long, long time. Shortly after after band practice, I made myself a sandwich. Getting some, I think, artisan bread buns, hamburger style, with some kind of tiny little sesame seeds on top. Put 2 slices of regular Chloe Jack, one for the top and another for the bottom bun. Put roughly a total of 6 slices of ultra thin deli style hard cured salami or hard uncured salami. Between the 2 bread buns, and then I put on some of the secret sauce spicy ranch sauce within the refrigerator. But it ultimately wasn't very easy to do that, since the lid must have been screwed on too tight. Excuse me, as I couldn't open it even after putting a paper towel around it, and then a real towel around it, 2 different real towels. So I used a fork to try to sort of weaken the cap. And then I used a knife to try to cut through the cap. Then I used a knife to try to cut through the plastic bottle itself. And then after making the indentation, I just stabbed the knife through. And that was at last how I opened the sauce. Which did allow the sauce to come out, but it involved a significantly harder than usual process. It likely deterred me from getting more sauce than I would have gotten otherwise. I'm not sure if I can ultimately get into the Silver League. I think at this point I'm pretty much guaranteed, the Bronze League. As long as I remember to spend everything. But how am I going to get, at last, piece of the Pilgrim's Manor set? Yeah, I managed to get something more powerful than the daily exclusive. I did some work around the early afternoon time of 1 p.m. to try and clean the table up a bit. At one point I made a styrofoam drawing out of that long thin piece of styrofoam that served as a cover for the piece of styrofoam that holds the microphone and the receiver for it. Today led to me going back to the old Go Animate channel, Rocket Power, Yell 24, in order to find an old Go Animate video in which Eric destroys the game room from 2013. It's one of the old Go Animate videos I remember from a long time ago. From around the days in which I was making the older episodes of Dan Hamming. I did some work on the 6 raw video file for the 99th Dan Hamming episode. I put in some dialogue for Ginger via the Kitteru voice, via the VoiceForge app being emulated on my laptop by the BlueStacks Android emulator. Although, at the moment, that emulator is pretty resource intensive on my laptop, but still works just fine. But there's a noticeable drop in performance at times. My research in Stronghold Kingdoms today focused on, at first, increasing the speed of my scouts. I only spent 1 point on that before going on to spend a research point to increase the capacity of my hovels in order to get more population and thus more tax income. Which further improved the hovels into some pretty nice looking medieval houses. And then I've just been focusing on improving the production of my apple orchards, considering how that's currently the primary food source of my second village, which I believe today I renamed from New Village to Iron Village. Because that village has a bonus to the production of iron.